Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to cover your future marine forecasts, tide charts, moon phase, everything you need to know to help keep you in the bite. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some great, exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, took a couple of weeks off, had to handle life, but we're here back now. So let's get into it. We got a couple of things going on from the FWC. Let's go over it. The first one we're going to go over is I don't even know how to say it. It's red snapper, right? They got these periodic openings over in the Gulf. So they just want to let you know that one of them opened up about a little more than a week ago. So you got 2 weeks, and then it'll shut down for, a week or so during the week, it looks like, and then open back up. So you've got these periodic openings all the way through the end of the year for red snapper on the for private recreational. Look at that. So everybody who always says, oh, FWC doesn't do nothing for rec guys, well, thank DeSantis for that, by the way. All right, yes, so red snapper openings. All right, the next one we got is a recreational harvest of snook in all East Coast, and most of the West Coast opens. We're open for snook. Woohoo! Get your slots going, right? What is it? It's 28 to 32. All right, so here we go. Here is the official memo from the FWC, right? Recreational harvest snook in all East Coast and most of the West Coast opens September 1st. All right, so there you go, right, folks? There's a couple different things, right? If you are in like specific spots, mostly looks like up north on the over in these areas, they might have some weird stuff going on, but yes. So snook is open for harvest, folks. Remember, they are a slot fish. I got a fella I work with, and he fishes like the interval. So, right, short story real quick. He fishes the interval, so I always beg him, go to Dania Pier, man. Get out of the interval, so stop fishing in the canal. Anyway, he caught a tiny snook. He's not very up to date. Threw it in the cooler, didn't know what it was. FWC walked over and checked him. Oh Lord, you know what? Give me a second. That's what we're looking at right now. Sorry for any mic noise going on. Yeah. Oops. Oh well. So now he's got to go to court here this coming week. That happened a couple of months ago. Anyway, all right, so let's get back to it, right? So that's our closures and openings. Snook opening. There's no closures, actually. It's all good stuff. All right, let's get right into this. Let's start looking at fish, right? That's what we're here to do. I'm not going to go over the last 2 weeks. The show would be like 3 hours long. I really want to thank everybody for making all their submissions and dealing with me in my absence. So we'll start off here. Captain Alex, he is in Alaska, right? Making the most of it. Here we got a sockeye salmon. Good eats, and he spends the summers in Alaska now, apparently. So when he gets back, he'll be ready to take on customers. He is a licensed captain down in Marathon. So something to think about. If you're down in that Middle Keys area looking for a captain, I can hook you up with him. All right. So that's our freshwater up north. And now we'll start with skinny water. We got Marlo Kennedy Aleba. Nice redfish out there doing her thing in the mangroves up, I believe, a little bit north and on the west coast. I never says anything, but hey, nice fish, nice redfish. And she also got a snook. So she's, out there putting on a skinny water clinic. Very good. And, hey, getting it done, enjoying the time on the water, on a paddleboard too. It's awesome. Got to be lots of fun getting out there and doing that. All right. Shallow water. Bear with me. I know I got to know. Here we go. Ryan Reynolds out there catching some shark bait, getting it. Jack Crevalle, you can't eat them. You can throw them on the smoker. if you're in the Bahamas, they know how to just throw them straight on the grill with nothing and they taste good. But regardless, Mr. Reynolds, nice Jack Crevalle. These things are going to be chomping on the mullets as the mullet run continues, and we've got the shrimp run happening right now too. So, yeah, congrats, Ryan, and yeah, that thing's going to be shark bait sometime soon. I told him that too. So, oh, speaking of which, we got Paulie hitting up the shrimp run. Like I said, the shrimp, I've seen some people hitting it big. If you are where you get a huge pot of them rolling through, man, you can fill up something. If not, hey, you know, you got a ton of shrimp. I saw his end results, and it's good. Remember, for as many as you get, you're going to have to devein them. So, you know, if you get 10,000 shrimp, have fun. It will be good. It will be shrimp cocktail, but yes. So, yeah, which way they're heading, I don't know. I've just seen sporadic reports. Paulie said something brief where he thought they had moved north. I'm not sure. Go to the inlets at night, get a light, and go for it. I'm not sure. I'd love to do it. I've always wanted to, but never had a chance. All right, so yeah, that's our shout out. Speaking of mullet run, Sean, when he got back off of his jet ski, and we're back. Sean ran in on his jet ski and the mullet run. Not, you know, we're not talking thousands, but here, so you can see it comes. These are those, you know, they're not the horse mullets, they're not the finger mullets. These are your average size juvenile mullets. You hook one of them through the lip, throw it out, the tarpon, the Jack Crevalle, the snooks. You know, hey, this is some good old fashioned fishing fun right here. All right, so got to thank Sean for, you know, taking a little snippet of what you can expect to see out there. All right. So, yeah, not too much. Let's look at the reef. I know I saw the reef, right? We've got reef, we've got groupers, we've got snappers, we've got everything. Bill, keeper cobia, and some snappers. He did. This is a solid reef haul. We got some grovers, we got a grunt, we got some lane snappers, and we got a nice cobia. Now, for all this. Anybody who's skeptical out there, I actually did see a picture of him with the cobia. Maybe this is, yes, here we go. There's the picture of him holding the cobia for anybody that thinks, oh, it's not 33. Yeah, yep. Hey, good fish, congrats, and good eats too. All right, so let's continue on with so the snapper is still happening, right? Mutton snapper, yellowtail, and mangroves. The mangrove spawn is over, and when you can get them, there you go. Get these grouper while we still can. That's some nice sandwiches too. And we got Mr. Grunt peeking his head in over here. Right. So yes, the reef. The reef is alive, folks. If the seaweed's, you know, tormenting you, you're not having luck with the pelagics, you're not getting that one or two sporadic dolphin that's out there. The wahoo are getting ready to feed real good. Kingfish are going. If you can troll and get through all the weeds, hey, good deal. Grouper. All right. So now let's look at our pelagics. Like I said, you know, man, it's hit or miss. I see people still catching dolphin. Let's talk about Rob Horst. He's got a couple of the kiddos out there, and they got on the dolphin. They definitely found the dolphin. And these are some good-sized ones. And, I mean, he uploaded a couple pictures. Here we go, another one. Nice little bull dolphin. Getting out there, getting it done, and then of course we've got a nice blackfin going on. So hey, we you know, this day or couple of days was definitely on fire there. So we've still got some dolphins swimming around, folks. They're out there. They're just, you know, it's not packed. So new link, palmbeachcharters.net out of Palm Beach Inlet, right? So folks, again, another one of our house charter captains who love to upload and show off their catches. If you are in that area, Palm Beach Inlet, and you're looking for a charter captain, here's proof in the pudding right here, folks. You can get out there and get on the boat with Mr. Link, and he'll put you on some fish, right? So there we go. Nice mahi for this young lady right here. Neil Link, palmbeachcharters.net, folks. All righty, keep going, keep on going, and here we go. Raymond, nice mahi, also known as dolphin. or dolphin fish or dorado. Yes, he got on the fish, and hey, it's taco time. Like I said, folks, you're not going to see them in the, if you run into a school, more power to you. I'm not saying that they're not out there, but it's more than likely singles, maybe doubles, maybe a pair. We are going to be coming up and starting to see the larger fish starting to swim on the inside of the stream back north here next month. But I am seeing them actually start to do it already. The smaller guys, people are talking about catching mahi in 165, 300 or so, which means, don't worry about going halfway to Bimini to find them. You can stay in there. You just got to put in the work, put in the time, and get on that bucket. There we go. Sean, he, you gotta have some appreciation when a guy's got a sense of humor. Hey, picking off the false albacore. So, it's one of them days where he didn't run into any mahi, but hey, thanks for doing population control, Sean. We appreciate it. All right, let's see. Jay. Nice little female schoolie right there. And he also got a barracuda I saw too. There we go. Same thing. So, hey, yes, barracudas are out there. I'm telling you, the last time I was trolling, I lost a couple lures. I didn't even know it. I was trolling mono for quite a while before I figured it out. So, yeah, the cooters are out there. They're underneath the weed lines, too. So, if you're trolling offshore looking for dolphin, watch your lines because, most people aren't really trolling with wire out there. So, yes, barracuda for Jay and nice mahi. So, you see, folks, the mahi aren't non-existent. They're just not, super bountiful. All right, Robert, here we go. Sailfish. Caught our first sailfish Saturday morning. Just put the lines out, and then it hit. And it sounds like he got the son and the daughter got to get a little bit of the action on the fish, which is great. Man, that's what it's all about. I'd say, once you've caught enough fish in your life, you just start driving the boat and finding the fish and let everybody else have the fun, right? There we go. Solid. Nice sailfish. Tons of fun. Always great. That first one, they become less elusive and more realistic. It's almost like seeing the teacher outside of school. Here's your fish. All right. There we go. So that's it. And one last fish just to prove that the mahi are still around. We got Mike. And a ton of people commenting on this one. I'm not really even sure, saying nice catch. Everybody sharing their what's been going on, their thoughts about, if, we got this shrimp run going on, soon you'll have the mullet run going on. So, if you're feeling less of a pelagic bite, it's possible. All right. But yes, a nice bull for Mike. Definitely found a nice, very nice fish. All right. So folks, that's what we're looking at, right? Snappers over the reef. Snappers over to kingfish. Kingfish are swimming around too. Don't count them out. Kingfish, definitely. Wahoo, they're going to be starting to bite more as we head towards fall. Our cool fronts are coming in. Speaking of which, we have one that's going to stall. It's stalled in the Orlando area right now. It's going to take like the rest of the week to get down here. And back to what's biting, right? The snapper are still hitting it. The kingfish, they're doing it. The false albacore are going to start going away. The bigger ones are going to start heading in shallower. You'll be able to find them in 30-ish feet this time of year. The little guys are going to come out. Those are going to be your live bait. Hook them up, catch them, hook them through the nose, tie a stinger, and just start heading out deeper. Bump troll with them, and you'll be looking for wahoo, kingfish, and sailfish with those little guys. All right, folks. And the dolphin. Like I said, I'm seeing dolphin in shallower. $165, 200, 223, something or other. So yeah, those days of heading, 20 plus out. If you're searching for one dolphin out there, you may as well search for one dolphin close to home. Deal with everybody on the reef. All right, folks, let's start doing some weather, right? Like I said, we've got a front stalled in the Orlando area right now. You can actually see it kind of here on Windy. We'll pull it up right now. Windy, again, folks, if this is your first time on the show, joining the show, all of these websites that we're going to use are actually apps. You can download them on your phone. You can go into the description of this show and copy, paste, click, link, do whatever you need to do. They're there at your disposal. And don't forget also, on top of all these weather forecasting tools, to also use your inlet webcams, beach cams, everything you can to really see reality. Forecasting chart, just like Windy, does not tell you what is really going on. It's just saying, hey, this is what's probably going to happen. Okay, like we said, we got this front right here. This is the front right here where you see the dead spot. Behind it is all the wind. It's creeping right now. It's moving very slow, and it might actually make its way down to South Florida by the end of the week. It's not going to really change much in the way of like rain or anything like that. But we are seeing some big time rain yesterday in the afternoon. Today, not so much. Yesterday afternoon, it poured in the BOCA area. And, you know, we're going to get some of those flood advisories are going to start happening again, you know, as this wicked weather starts popping our way. All right. So let's look at it. So this is tomorrow morning. Our wind speeds are, you know, you can click and point on Windy on a PC. If you got it on your phone, you just move around and point your finger and move the screen around, and it'll drop and tell you what you got. So we got 4-knot winds from the west tomorrow morning. West Coast is looking good, except, you know, up north of the front where our wind is. Tampa Bay looked like it's sitting right there. The front is creeping down a little bit, but like I said, in the Orlando-ish area, which it's still looking like it'll be tomorrow morning. All right, tomorrow afternoon, winds 6 knots from the west. So we got a west wind right now. We'll have to examine and see if that's creating a swell or if it's pushing all the water off west, and you're going to have a west like chop going on. Have to see what happens with that sometimes, because if you don't have like a front or something pushing it, as we saw a few weekends ago, you have waves that continuously get bigger the further off you go offshore, but the waves are heading west. They're heading towards the Bahamas. Anyway, Thursday morning, 5 knots from the northwest. So we still got like a west wind. The North Keys are pretty much, you know, quiet. Lower Keys too. Not much going on down there. 1-knot winds. So we're looking at the winds being fairly tame over the next couple of days. And we got a west wind. So like I said, we'll have to examine what it's doing with the waves, with the water. How is this wind affecting it? All right. Thursday, Friday, winds start the more north you go up, we're getting that northeasterly push, and then it starts curving around. So we'll see, you know, where the front, like you can see, that front is just really creeping. It's still over the state 3 days from now. So, all right, it's going to start making our winds have variable directions throughout the day too. 5 knots in the Keys Friday morning. Tri-County area, 6 knots from the northwest. Not too bad. So, you know, the wind speed is not crazy until come Friday afternoon. It looks like they're predicting that the front will pass, and that's when our wind speed, it looks like it's going to pick up. And this is according to Windy, other forecasting charts. And there comes the wind from the north in Saturday. So there's where they're predicting the front's going to come through, is sometime Friday. Saturday, yep. So we're getting our winds heading from the north starting Friday night. And Saturday, we'll get elevated winds, and they'll start to peter off throughout the night and throughout Sunday. Coming into Monday, that's when our winds start going down. So the front comes through, and it doesn't. The after effects of the wind don't last much more than a day and a half. Monday, we're back to normal stuff, but it looks like, you know, we're gonna have some weather, some wind coming from the north. Nothing real bad. We'll see what happens with that. That doesn't look like it will make it all the way down here. Tuesday, yeah, you see. So Tuesday we start reclaiming our northeast wind and getting back to some sort of normal pattern. We are at the peak of hurricane season tomorrow. Supposed to be the busiest time, but if we're following suit from last year, it didn't get busy till next month. All right, Tuesday afternoon, 7 knots from the northeast. So right now we got a west wind, right, folks? And it's going to start shifting once this front comes and passes down Friday. Then we'll get a bunch of wind for a day, day and a half, Saturday into Sunday, Friday afternoon, and then we will go back to normal. All right, here's our waves, right? So right now we're looking at 3-foot waves from the north, 8 seconds. So right now they're saying we got a swell. So our west wind has created a swell. We're not really going to be looking at the that push of water heading west towards the Bahamas like we had a few weeks ago. 3-foot waves from the north, 8 seconds. Down in the Keys, you're actually got like nothing going on. The mid to lower Keys, it's 1-foot waves heading from the west. So they're actually looking good. Now there is some convergence with the water that heads into the Straits of Florida in between the Bahamas and stuff right here. You can see we've got waves coming from the north and then waves from the west. So somewhere in there, you're going to have a confused sea. All right, Vero Beach up here. We'll talk about that. 4-foot waves, 7-second period. So not much of a swell. It's going to be bumpy out there right now. And we're going to be looking at some good weather rolling in our way. 3-foot. This is Thursday as we head down. We're looking at 3-foot. Let's go to Isla Mirada. I agree with you. Isla Mirada. I mean, if you're hitting up Isla Mirada, Mr. Rob, over the next couple of days, right now that's better than anything up on the mainland of the peninsula, unless you're over on the west coast in their 46 centimeters of water. I love my West Coast people, by the way. I just always got to give them, jazz, because you got to head out 50 miles to get into 6 feet of water. Anyway. Okay. Back to it. All jokes aside. Thursday afternoon, right? Our waves are staying the same. We're looking at 3-foot, 2-foot, 3-foot, 2-foot, 2 to 4, right? It all depends upon where you are at what time when it comes to these waves. The further up north you go, our wave height is increasing. The period's staying about the same, 7 to 8 seconds. Further south we come, we got the period spreads out and the waves become nothing once we get, sort of into the Keys, about halfway down Marathon and south. And that's Thursday. Friday, not much changes. Now, Friday, remember, is the day that our front is going to be passing us. So we will be looking at an increase in wind speed. And where you got this bluer water down here, if you look at our color-coded bar chart down here, once you get into this area, that's where you can see your wave heights picking up. The lighter stuff is smaller waves. All right, yeah. So Friday afternoon, the Keys are still looking good. Tri-County area is starting to look like they're going to get some weather. Let's see what happens in the Saturday. Yeah, the waves, it's the water's starting to push following the front, but it's not so strong of a front that it actually made a huge push of water. It pushed some. Normally you would see pinks and stuff up here, like where we're getting into 10+ foot waves, but not really. So like that's a big push for water. All right. Saturday, Sunday, 4 foot. So this weekend's not looking real pleasant. If you can make it down there, the Keys are actually looking like the place to go throughout the rest of the week. I mean, look at this. Even Sunday, they got 2-foot seas. A little choppy. They got a 3-foot period once the front passes. But throughout the rest of the week, and even in the early part of the weekend, it's looking fair. Our wind and our waves stick around throughout Sunday, following the front. Heading into Monday, it's still hanging out. The Keys are still, they still picked up a little bit of sportiness to their ocean due to the passing of the front. It closed their period. The waves are now all coming from the northeast. They're small waves, not too bad, 2 foot, but at 3 seconds. So that's still, fairly bumpy. Up here, we're looking at 5 foot Tri-County area Monday, right? Monday morning, doesn't really change. Heading into Tuesday, we're still. So after the front passes, we're going to have some action out in the ocean, hanging out for a couple of days, folks. And hopefully it gets better as the week goes on, and heading into next weekend, we get a little break. Those folks that got, smaller vessels, we can get on out there and make it happen, right? All right. Let's look at some rain, see if we can figure this out, right? So we'll start with tomorrow, and we'll zoom out just a hair, right? So again, we've got that front, but like I said, the front's not much of it's not a cold front, but it's, how do I say, unorthodox, out of the normal, because this time of year isn't, we usually start hearing the words cold front next month, right? So, but then again, we had fronts heading, back end fronts and everything heading throughout. It's almost as if they really haven't stopped this whole year. Yes. Is that an abnormal anomaly? Yeah, yes and no. Is it some sort of weird thing, or all the climate activist people going to be, I told you so? More than likely. Do I care? No. All right. So yes, rain, right? Tomorrow morning's offshore stuff. In the afternoon, here we go again. So we, like I said, we have been seeing this pattern. Yesterday, if you were anywhere near BOCA, you got pounded come 4:30. So we're looking at that. We're back in the summer weather pattern, folks, right? Offshore in the morning, and then when you hit the afternoon, it builds up onshore from the west, heading to the east. Friday, offshore, and in the morning. Now, remember, Friday is the day where our front will be passing us, and this is why you're going to be possibly seeing some downpours. Poor Miami, if this is the truth, because, we've got areas, in downtown, we've got Sweetwater. Those areas, man, if they even see a drizzle, they flood. So, I hope for the best for you guys. All right, Saturday, again, offshore. Saturday afternoon, it dries out because of that wind that's pushing all of our weather with the front. So we'll have some dryness. Maybe get out and do a barbecue or something Saturday, since the weather is, not exactly going to be ideal. If it was me personally, when the weather hits like that, I'd just say forget it. I'll save it for another day. All right, Sunday, same thing, dry in the morning and still dry. So we've got all that wind that's pushing everything with it. Monday, still wind pushing all the moisture away from us, which is pretty good. Come Tuesday, same thing. All right, so, normal typical pattern. Come Friday, the wind's going to pick up and kick it away, and it'll die down as the weekend goes on. But we're looking at drier conditions once Friday goes by. So just think about that. It'll be a little bit windy. It's going to be hot. Not much else I could say about that. All right, let's look at Windfinder, which is basically the numbers game of what we just went over. They're one and the same. All right, here we go, right, folks? So Wednesday, right? They're saying southwest wind, south wind, which is almost a little bit contradictory to what we just saw on Wednesday. They're saying you got a wind come from the west and northwest, and as they go on, they're showing variable stuff. They never show that wind coming from the northwest. Again, this is where reality checks come in. You got to go, if you really want to get out there, whether you're pleasure boating, whether you're fishing, whether you're selling. I don't care. Everybody's invited to come here and add value, take away. I don't care. This is where you got to look at the reality of what's going on. You've got these real-time tools, your beach cams, your inlet cams. When you've got discrepancies of forecast models, you've got to look and see what is real? Do I got an 8-foot swell heading in the inlet, and I'm going to be one of them yahoos that jumps that wave, or am I going to play it safe? Yes. All right. So here we go. But as we can see, we do have the swell. So they agree upon the swell, but their wind and their wind directions all off the charts craziness. Okay. Yeah. So that's tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Variable winds all over the place. Not this wind speed is not real crazy at all. Not even above 10 miles an hour. But as you can see in the afternoon, they're calling for rain, crazy rain, Thursday, Friday, as the front passes. Friday, again, northeast swell, 7 seconds, 7-8 seconds, 2 to 4 foot seas, not bad. Sunday, Saturday, wind shifts. They're saying wind's going to start coming from the northeast with a little bit pickup, right? Starts out in the mid to low single digits, then heads up to the low doubles. Not very gusty at all, but yet our moisture continues. So here, Windfinder is saying we're going to pick up some weather from the front when it passes. We will stick with our northeast swell. And again, so you see, we've got a little bit of contradictory stuff. They're saying the swell is going to hang out until next week, be about 3 or 4 foot. 3 foot or so at a swell versus what Windy was saying, where they were talking 4 foot, 5 foot. The period was shorter and all sorts of goodness. So we will just have to monitor that and, see what's going on. Again, we got a front coming through, so the weather's going to be a little bit hit or miss, no matter what you're trying to look for. But the good thing is that the good thing, I guess, is that there's the possibility that the weather could be on our side, right? We've got the front, the swell. It could end up being nice come the weekend. Okay, all right. Let's talk about moon phases, right? I'm starting to see lots of people whisper about Wahoo. Everyone wants to get out there and get their share. And I'll be honest with you, Wahoo it's a year-round thing, but they're sporadic, they're elusive. Even when it's time to go get them, if you're not dialed in on that fishery, it's almost one of them catches like a rainbow runner. You go, oh my God, we've got the Wahoo finally. So, all right, and yes, the bite is better around the full moon, a few days past. All right, so let's talk about our moon phase, right? This is where you should be fishing for them. We've got weird weather. We've got calm seas. If they're calm, I haven't even looked at a webcam. If they're calm, these are the days you want to get out there, drop in that planner, drop in those nomads, those DTXs, whatever it is that you do that you're going for them for. Everybody's got a bunch of things. The one thing that I've noticed, the paradigm shift of high-speed trolling starting to take a back burner versus deep diving plugs like the DTXs and Rapala Magnum X wraps, whatever it might be your favorite is. Me, I'm still a planner. So, but yes. So right now we're waning, right, folks? If we're waxing with the moon, we're going towards the full moon. If we're waning like we are right now, we're going away from the full moon. 95%, right? Wait till Thursday to make about a decision. Yeah, you got to. I try to do this report on Tuesday. That way we can talk about the weekend and talk about, dream about the weekend. But yes, as you can't really make a solid guess right now. Not at all. Especially with what's happening right now with the fronts and everything. All right, waning. Going towards the dark side of the moon, folks. Tomorrow, 89%. Thursday, 80%. Friday, 70%, right? So if you've got the chance, like we see, we've got some all right weather in the next few days, and you can get out. That's your chance to go out there for that Wahoo, that September moon, right? All right, 9, 10, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 58%, Sunday, 47, Monday, 36, and Tuesday, 26. So sometime next week, looking like Thursday, we'll be getting the new moon, and then we'll be working our way back towards our next full moon, the October moon. That's when you're going to want to do some wahoo fishing. October. Start doing it October, November. And yes, so dark side of the moon, right? Remember, folks, bait guys, get out there and do it. Pelagics are eating less. Dark side of the moon, I've always found works better for fishing. The full moon is a mackerel thing. Kingfish, Ceros, Spaniards, they eat better for some reason with that water flow and the full, the moon approaching. I'm not sure what the phenomenon is. And then again, it could just be all superstition, but it does tend to work historically speaking. And then again, somebody's probably got some great essay on why wahoo bite at the moon. Yes. So that's where we're at, right, folks, with our moon. Get out there and get your goggle eyes if you can in that rough weather that's happening next week. All right, let's talk about the tide charts, or one of the things, the great tide charts. Okay, why is tide charts important? Because we talk about it because of the inlets that we have in our areas, right, folks? And the main thing to know when you are fishing an inlet, especially the guys standing on the rocks casting out their lines, you got to fish the outgoing tide. If the tide is coming in from low to high, you're going to catch nothing. The tide has to be going out. What happens? The outgoing tide pushes out everything that little fish eat. All sorts of debris, microorganisms, chlorophyll, all sorts of stuff that attracts bait fish. Bait fish eat that stuff, make noise, make commotion. Big fish come in, eat bait fish, cycle of life. You go home with dinner. If you fish the incoming tide, when everything's being sucked into the inlet, you catch nothing. All right, so what we got right now, tomorrow, mid-morning and mid-afternoon, we've got incoming tides, right? Now, it also, fishing the outgoing tide also has to be topical to when fish more than likely feed better, right? So right now you see you've got an outgoing tide in the middle of the day. That doesn't necessarily work. It works better if your tide pulling water is in the morning as the sun's coming up and in the afternoon. Kenny, how you doing? Yes. Caught cobia, kings. Awesome. I like that blue marlin actually in the in the tiny boat. That was great. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. Grouper, beat up. Hey, get beat up while you can, because the grouper go away. All right, so we're looking at, the tide right now is not on your side if you're trying to fish it. If you really looking at fishing that outflow, it's in the middle of the day throughout the rest of the week, heading into early next week. Now, as you can see, starting Sunday, you will be at the end of the outgoing tide as the sun rises. Also here, if you look on Saturday, you're at the end of it. So in the afternoon, so if you start fishing at like 5 o'clock, you've got half of the tide to go fish in the afternoon before the sun goes down. In the morning, you got to get out there before the sun comes up if you want to hit that tide. So that's what that is. All right. So we got some weather happening, folks. I really want to thank everyone for showing up and making this happen. Before we head out, though, folks, if you are in the market for some fishing apparel, right? You want one of them cool fishing shirts to see everybody wearing them UPF 50s. Go check out our sponsor, WindRider. The link is in the description. Check it out. Even if you don't like it, at least just look at it. We got the South Florida Saltwater Fishing shirts. It comes with the YouTube channel logo. Support the brand and everything. This is that shirt that you see everybody wearing. It doesn't say Salt Life. It doesn't say Hook. It doesn't say Pelagic. It says South Florida Saltwater Fishing. And somewhere on it, it will also say WindRider, which is the company that manufactures them. Yes, UPF 50. Don't need sunscreen. Keep you cool in the summer. Keep you warm in the winter. And the two best things about these shirts. Number one, they dry quick. You get all wetted up, catching fish, you get all sweaty and everything. Once you get going, you're in the breeze, they're dry. No time at all. And another best thing about it is they are fairly, not 100%, but they are fairly stain resistant. I've gotten mine all bloodied up, and you know, unless you get up on me with a microscope, not a microscope, a magnifying glass, you can't really tell that, you know, I've been killing fish with it. All right, so that's that, right, folks? If you're looking for a fishing shirt, go ahead and check it out. Won't hurt you. All right, and before we head off, if you're on Facebook, right, folks, I want to ask you, go and check out, ask to join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. That is this. This is what drives this weekly show. All sorts of information, people asking questions. Yes, the report is growing. It's great to see people sharing. When you look for it online, it is South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. It is a group. It is not my private page. It's not the business page for South Florida Saltwater Fishing. You have to go and find the group. Go search out the group, and then you ask to join. It's a private group. We don't want bots or nothing like that. We want you know, good folks, you know, that are wanting to learn. If you don't even post anything, and you just come to see what's happening, and you know, lots of things, lots of people are silent. Lots of people like to share. Anyway, join South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Again, this is what makes this show happen. You post the stuff, gives me something to talk about, right, folks? Every Monday, I got the brag board going on. If you post your stuff, except for the last couple of weeks where I've had stuff going on, I try to get to it. I swear I try my hardest to showcase every catch that everybody puts on here, right, folks? And you also always have the chance of being the poster child for the thumbnail of the live show on YouTube. All right, folks, that about does it for this episode. We're going to let everyone get on with life. And so if you got it over the next couple of days, after that, the fan and the weather is going to turn on. So it is what it is. And if anything changes, I'll make a couple posts or whatnot and keep you updated. Hope for you know, hope for a little change, and maybe stuff will get better as we go on. All right, folks. Till next time, South Florida Saltwater Fishing. Going wherever the cool wind takes us.